Hi, I'm Jason Ritter with CWTAP. Today we are here at Schwenkfelder Library for the Child's Grunewald Lodge. I'm here with Maggie and Dave to tell us about the library and today's events.
Hello, my name is David Luz. I'm the Executive Director of the Schwenkfelder Library and Heritage Center, and the Library and Heritage Center has been preserving and interpreting the heritage of the Schwenkfelders in the Upper Perkiomen Valley since 1884. We've amassed a large collection of Pennsylvania German and local artifacts and books and manuscripts and museums. People come to see our museum exhibits. We exhibit everything from the Schwenkfelder story to local artists that come and put their paintings up, to the Christmas puts that we put up on an annual basis, and other topics, exhibits on display. People also come to do research here at the library, genealogy and local history.
Hi, I'm Maggie Buckwalter. I'm the children's educator here at the Schwenkfelder Library and Heritage Center, and today we have the Children's Groundhog Lodge celebration. And what it is it's a celebration of the Pennsylvania German tradition of groundhog lodges, which was designed, well, it was a tradition brought over from the old country. And when the Germans came here and settled in Pennsylvania, they decided to bring this tradition, like many others, like the Christmas tree, with them. And basically, it's a good fun time for adults, and we're here to share it with the children. We're gonna have some games and activities, lots of good Pennsylvania Dutch food, including shoofly pie. We'll be having some crafts. We have a local author and illustrator who will be bringing her new book that's written in Pennsylvania German and English, and she'll be here to sign and also to do a reading. And we're also going to learn about some of the important history and culture of the Pennsylvania Germans in the area. And I hope you can join us. And if not for this program, then we have many other programs for children and adults, and you can find them on the Schwenkfelder Library and Heritage Center's website, which is www.schwenkfelder.com. And we also have a Facebook page called The Schwenkfelder, so we hope you'll visit us in some form soon. Thank you very much.
Hey, we caught with Carl Arner, our class instructor for today. So Mr. Arner, tell us about today's events.
Well, we've been doing this for, I guess this is the 7th year. And it originally started with Miss Lawrence was here as the teacher, and Ron Treichler helped to organize it also. So we've been doing this for, this is I think our 7th year that we're doing it. And last year was our largest group that we've ever had. I think we had close to 20, 25 young boys and girls here. And as you can see, Maggie has the little holes on the floor where they're going to sit. So when we were doing the program, you know, these are little young children, basically from age 4 to maybe about 11, 12, 13 that come. And of course they have to be brought by a grandparent sometimes comes along, parents, or maybe an uncle or an aunt. And we tried this, and of course there was an interest in having all these young folks coming out, so we just continue with it as far as trying to get younger folks interested in the dialect and talking to their parents and stuff like this, and learning a little bit more about how it was many, many years ago. And of course, as you can see, there's a lot of the things in here from the Groundhog Lodge, which is number 7, which meets here in East Greenville. It's always the 4th Thursday in April. That's our date that we meet. And of course, that's for the men. So this is strictly for the younger folks, and trying to keep the dialect alive. So that's what.
I'd like to thank you, Mr. Arner, and I look forward to participating in today's class.
And I'm going to follow along because I do not speak Dutch. So here we have Clayton, and Clayton's the grandson of Mr. Preston, and Clayton just did this 2 nights ago for 200 people at an adult groundhog lodge. So that's
all right, fools. Everybody, move that feet. Yep, please remove your hats. Flag is over there. The Dutch beside so I'll call that a fauna. And now we're going to say the perspectora. Clayton will lead us. You can follow along. Go ahead. Zu der Fauna von den Vereinigten Staaten von Amerika, Bundesland for the State, Elan und in Gott, ewig vereinigt, mit Freiheit und Gerechtigkeit für alle.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Thank you so much. The 7th or the 6th Groundhog Lodge, I was called on that because apparently somewhere along the line somebody lost count. But we're going to call this the 7th Annual Groundhog Lodge for children. And, you know, my birthday is February 3rd, so I always said that my birthday is the day after Groundhog's Day. And I always sort of had this special affinity for Groundhog's Day because I kind of thought of it as my birthday. So, but when I was doing research for this, I'm like, well, why do we have a Groundhog's Day? And how did it get associated with the Pennsylvania Germans? So we'll find that out. Does anybody know? Any of you kids have been here before? What can you tell me about it? Is it like a new thing, or is it an old thing? Did it get originated in America, or, you're right, it got originated in Europe before people came to the New World? Yes, dear.
We were in here, and we never went in here, and we saw the owl.
You saw the owl, the stuffed owl? And you'll get a chance to see some stuffed groundhogs in the back, too.
We call them bubbles.
Bubbles.
They got one that went through them.
So, I have all my grunt owls at the front, right, in your burrows? You need to sit in your burrow. Ben, I'm sorry, that's my son Ben. He's not feeling too well today, but I'm Who are we missing? That's me, actually. That says Maggie. Thank you.
But we're missing the wheels and that.
You're right, but that's okay. If they want to come up, they can come up on our beautiful groundhog there. So, the groundhog is used to predict the weather. So who knows the fable? What happens if the groundhog sees his shadow? Yes, my dear.
It's way too.
If he sees his shadow, it's going to be a late winter, okay? And if he doesn't see his shadow, go ahead.
It's going to be
Early spring, right. So, this is the pledge, and we already did that. So the shadow seen, we have a late spring, 6 more weeks of winter. If the shadow's not seen, early spring. Do you think this is very scientific?
Yes.
It is fun, though, isn't it? So, this is about the time period that it's the middle of winter. So everybody gets a little cabin feverish, but I think it was fun to have that snow the other day because it sort of broke up the winter and gave us something fun to play with. But the middle of the winter is usually like a time period of change. So we'll talk about how that's been a long historical thing in a second. The groundhog is a mammal. What is a mammal? Go ahead, dear.
An animal
Has fur. What else? Egg laying or live babies? Right. And do the babies go out and feed on their own, or do they feed off their mamas? Very good. You got it. So there are also rodents. Who can think of another kind of rodent? Yes, my dear. You get to take your burrow home. Yes, you do. We're going to make some other crafts too. So what's a rodent? You know. Who can think of another kind of rodent? A rat. Very good. So they have these long teeth, and they keep on growing throughout their life. So that's handy because they dig things all the time, and they get worn down, and then they keep on growing. So you'll see some, if you get a program before you leave, you'll see some more facts, but we won't go over everything because we have a lot of crafts to do. So, does somebody mind please helping me with the pin so I can just keep going? Thank you very much. I don't want to hold everybody up in this part because this is sort of the not as exciting part. So, so groundhogs burrow and they hibernate. What does hibernate mean? Yes?
They sleep over.
They sleep over winter. Do you know, do they stay in all winter?
No.
I think they come out sometimes. Like there are certain animals that sort of stay all winter, but sometimes when it gets a little warmer, some animals come out for a little look-see, okay? And so this is one of those animals. Sometimes you can even see bunnies in the winter. They sort of like, they don't really hibernate, they kind of hang out and hide when it's cold, but the groundhogs do a little bit more of hibernation. They're also called whistle pigs. Does anybody remember from Winnie the Pooh. So talk about this. People who said he was a whistle pig, so they're also called woodchucks. So Piglet is a favorite character, right? There was also this groundhog in it, and he could talk through his teeth and whistle all the time. So they're vegetarians. So although I did read that they sometimes eat bugs and small reptiles or amphibians, but I don't know if that's really true. So this is a really, really old tradition. You were right. It's from Europe. In fact, it's kind of hard to see because it's still kind of light in here.
Because that is the one.
Hi, Lainey, what do I usually put the light on? A or B? B? Oh, this is my lovely assistant, Elena. She's one of my children. She always helps me out in my programs for the American Girl Love team. So, okay, you can see it a little bit better. Thank you. Thank you. You're good. Elena, go out there and take your whiskers and stuff. Go ahead. Elena, do you want your whiskers? I know you know her. So anyway, what is this crazy thing? Does anybody know what that is? Yes. What's that thing in the middle of you? Did you ever go to like a pep rally? It's what? It kind of looks like that, but it's a bonfire. Okay, so a long time ago in Europe, they all got a little, punchy in the middle of the winter, and they would have sort of like a big festival of like with fire and eating and that kind of stuff. They kind of celebrate getting halfway there, halfway through winter, because before central heating, heat that comes out automatically out of your house, I'm sure winter was really hard. So this very old tradition of celebrating the middle of winter. And then about the year 500, so what year are we in this year?
2016.
A+, very good. 2016. So this was sort of that holiday with the bonfires and stuff was sort of like a non-Christian holiday. And around the year 500, a pope decided that, well, we should kind of use this holiday and go with it and kind of make it have a Christian connotation. So then it was sort of celebrated as the presentation of Jesus at the temple. Since it would be 40 days after December 25th, which was winter solstice, then that was changed into a Christian holiday. so that's then, and then because of the whole using fire as a traditional celebration thing, there was a fire-lit processional in church. And then also, people used to have to make their own candles. Did you know that? So, yeah, so you do that. So, before they had lights like this, they made their own candles. So, if you were a Christian back then, you might bring them to church to get your candles blessed. Because what could happen with candles by accident? They could burn them. So they would like their priest or their pastor to bless their candles. So then that started to be called candle mass. This is all over Europe, from Rome all to like Ireland. So it was also a traditional time once people celebrated Christmas on the 25th to take down the Christmas greenery, which makes me feel good because my husband likes having Christmas up still. We still have a Christmas tree in our house. To get through Christmas, to get through the winter, he likes to have the tree up still. So, and it was also like spring cleaning, which is kind of earlier than spring cleaning for when most people feel like throwing open the windows and stuff. But it was a time of renewal and that kind of thing. This is an English rhyme. If Candlemas Day be fair and bright, winter will have another flight. But if Candlemas Day be clouds and rain, winter is gone and will not come again. So this tradition that we see with the groundhogs is all over Europe. Don't worry, Pennsylvania Dutch people. I'm getting to the important part, bringing it to America. This is also celebrated in Ireland. Now you guys you saw that picture, the bonfire. That is actually a modern picture of people in the Irish Isles. They still celebrate with bonfires. It's called, I don't know how to pronounce it Gaelic. Any Gaelic speakers in here? I think it's involved. But it's also celebrated as St. Bridget's Day. And fire is an important element. So, when the Germans came here to America, they brought a lot of traditions. What's that thing that I just said that I still have in my living room? Christmas tree. We have to thank the Pennsylvania Germans for that. And we do live in Pennsylvania. So when German immigrants brought this holiday over, they brought this same tradition to America. And in Germany, it was tradition to kind of observe the badger, but groundhogs were a lot more common in Pennsylvania and a lot friendlier, so they went with the groundhog. anti-German feeling. There was kind of a lot of prejudice. Who knows what prejudice is? Teenager back there, Autumn, what's prejudice? When you judge someone because of what their nationality or their color or their sex is, and you're not being fair. So in between the two world wars, there was kind of a lot of anti-German things going on, and you folks back there might remember that a long time ago, I know in the 1970s, my church still had services in German. I go to Papa. So there was prejudice, and there was also just a fading out of the language and the culture and stuff. So there was a gentleman who wrote the paper up in Reading. Does anybody recall his name? I forgot to write that down. Who kind of helped to get this started?
Probably the Winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the guys from the back, this is your entree. Oh, that's French. Come on up and you can tell us a little bit about the adult Groundhog Lodge, if you don't mind. So, if you want to come up while I'm still talking, that would be fabulous. Thank you very much, guys. So, there was a great effort from Pennsylvania Dutch people to help preserve the traditions, and they decided to create Groundhog Lodges, which whole purpose had an important purpose, which was to preserve the history, and a fun purpose to get together and be silly. So, today there are 17. Is there 17 lodges in PA?
Yes.
Okay. And in my research, I found out that they're kind of all over the U.S. also, even up into Canada. So with the spreading of Pennsylvania German people, we have gotten a lot of other lodges in different parts of North America. And that's just some silly stuff. Does the groundhog really work at the weather factory? No, but it's... Okay, so we have Mr. Carl Arner and Mrs. Lucy Kern here to tell a little bit about the adult groundhog lodges. Thank you, guys.
Ladies first. Like all of you, I lived here in East Greenville, which is right next door to Pennsylvania. And most of the people talk Pennsylvania Dutch or Pennsylvania German. My grandmother had trouble talking English. Do you believe that? So I like to understand Pennsylvania German, and I'm very proud to be Pennsylvania German or Pennsylvania Dutch. This area did not look like it looks now. We had farms all around here, and with dairy cows and fields, and it just has changed a lot. When I would go to a little store up the street, I could hear people talking Pennsylvania German. Now we don't hear it anymore. It's just old people like Carl and me and those guys back there and Mrs. Parry that understand Pennsylvania German. I cannot talk it too good, play this song, but I understand it. The men have the Groundhog Lodge, and about 30 years ago I thought, why can't girls do that? Why can't girls have a really sound lodge, right? You're a girl, we can do what boys can do, can't we? Yeah, all right. So I started my first Groundhog Lodge. Mrs. Parry in the back of the room helped me, and I meet once a year, right before the men have theirs. And last year I had about 200 women, and we don't, some of the women talk something Dutch with their girlfriend. We talk English, but the basic thing is we have a good time, we're together, we have a party, we eat too much, but we're very proud that we're Pennsylvania Dutch or Pennsylvania German. In another 50 years, I don't know who will be talking. But right now, Carl and I are trying to keep it going in just a little bit.
Mrs. Kern, if the kids would like to learn some Pennsylvania German, what would you suggest? Do you think that they should maybe get one of these children's books or talk to their grandparents, see if they could help them out? Or what would
Yeah, probably none of their grandparents understand. Probably not. Oh, yours, yes, that's an exception. That's an exception.
We have a great grandma that does.
Okay, talk to them. Talk to them. When I was little, I'll say one more thing. My grandmother, like I said, Katie Donna, could hardly talk English, and she taught me dress, drill, the bottle go to fill. Fill spring wet when the bottle by the dress. Okay? And the other one was,
What was that?
dress, drill. What does that mean? Dress, drill. The farmer has a just the bottle about a fill. What's a fill? The fill's ring wreck from the bottle like the horse, I guess. The horse. Yeah. Yeah, and the other one was Schnitzen Connect, die Quaxi-Net, wo Rebus into seas, and Bauers made die Bussi-Net, sie hat zu stick your feet. Okay, Schnitzen Connect is something to eat, which I do make sometimes, it's dried apple. Schnitzen Connect, I don't like. No, Schnitzen Connect, Quaxi-Net, the Reba, turnips, right, are too sweet. And the farmer girl, I won't kiss, because she has sticky feet. That's what we learned. We didn't have TV and all that. But I love my grandmother just as much. Okay, Carl, it's your turn.
Wow. What's a Steinoma? What's your name? I know you like to talk about it. What's your name? Huh? Lana? Parker. Okay. And this guy had a, where did you put your tie? I thought you had a tie on. Oh, you got it there. He's got a groundhog tie. All right. Yeah, just like Lucy, when I was your age, maybe a little bit older, when I went to first grade, I'm almost 80. He's in kindergarten. He's just starting school. I didn't know. When I first went to school, my first grade teacher, still living, he's way up in her 90s. I spoke Pennsylvania Dutch. And the teacher told to me, Mrs. Singer, who was my teacher, said, Carl, you can speak Dutch at home, but in school you got to learn English. So I had to learn. I could speak English also, but I could speak Pennsylvania Dutch as a little kid, because my grandparents always spoke Dutch. And I worked on my grandfather's farm for 16 years. When I was about 6 until I was in college. So they spoke nothing but Pennsylvania Dutch, so I learned it. I didn't have a book or anything. I just picked it up. So, like Lucy had said, it doesn't matter just because we're Pennsylvania Dutch. And flags here indicate who we really are, okay? My grandparents were over from Switzerland, which is close to Germany. And of course, they migrated over here in the early 1700s, okay? Now, we have a couple of flags over there, and maybe the two of you can hold the flag this way so you can see it. Would you help, and sir, would you help just to hold the flag this way? The grommets are on the top, which is A. Are we up to 17?
Was that the one at Temple University had one?
Yeah, Temple University had one in Philly, and that just didn't pan out. But the Pennsylvania Germans, which were Pennsylvania Dutch, that's what I speak, not the German. And that flag says in there in 1683. So that's about 350 some years from now when they came over on the Concord ship. Okay? And they were called the Krefelders because that's where they came from in Germany. But inside you see the ship that came over, they landed in Germantown outside of Philadelphia. How many of you know where Philadelphia is? Or maybe have been there. Okay, some of you are. I've been there.
I went to the zoo there.
All right, and it has the church. Why do you think it has the church up in the upper left-hand corner? Why is that important? Anybody have an idea? Do you have an idea? Can you tell me? Stand up. Yeah.
What's your idea? Why the church?
Why the church? You go to church? No, you do go to church. Okay. Well, they came over here. Go ahead.
We do at the one where I go to school. We go to school at the church we go to on Sunday.
Okay, what church is that? You know the name of the church?
I know.
What?
Flint 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 Flint
strong belief in God, okay, and they still do, okay? So when they came over here, they probably had a bag on their shoulder and a Bible in the other hand. Why is the plow on the bottom? You see the plow? Why is the plow on there? What do you think most of them did when they came over here, before they came over here? What did they do? Do you have any idea? Yeah.
They farm.
They were farmers who bought out of their crops. Okay? And what's up in the upper right-hand corner? What's in the upper right-hand corner? Can you see? What does that look like? Do you have any idea? Okay, it was their arts and their crafts and things like that. Now I brought along where the guys are sitting back there, the dictionary that my grandmother had in school, and it almost, I thought when she gave it, when I looked at it, it was a Bible. But it's actually a dictionary, and it was given to her by her teacher in 1901. It's right back on the table. And, okay, and in the bottom, what is that? Some of you come from a farm. What's the bottom thing? What's pulling it? You think a tractor was pulling it? What was pulling it? The horses, right. So that was like a Conestoga wagon. And those wagons were built like it came down on the bottom and came up at the end. And there was a reason for that, because if they crossed a creek or a river, the stuff would settle in the middle, whatever they took out, so it was easier for them to haul it, and it wasn't as hard on the wagon. So that's the flag that we have. That was I was over when that flag was raised over at the courthouse in Lehigh County in 1983. That's when we first got our flag, okay? This up here, thanks God.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for being patient. Now this flag up here, it's actually a banner made by a girl close by, and it says on the top, Grotzalach Lumasiva. Okay? Does anybody know what that means? Groundhog Watch number 7. Okay. Yeah, I know you did. I heard you. Okay. Yeah.
Groundhog Watch number 7.
Groundhog Watch number 7. We were the 7th one. When did we start? It says it right on here. A 9 is there, yeah.
25.
1925.
52.
Very good. In 1952, we had our first lodge meeting. Yes, sir.
Doesn't it say April 30th, 1952?
Yes, our lodge always meets after the ladies, the 4th Thursday of April. So this year we will be celebrating Lawrence what year? 65 years that we've been having it. Yes. So now this in here says, Schwich the body omen on the Magobi. That means between the Perkiomen and the Magobi Creek. So we meet in East Greenville, and Perkiomen means in Lenni Lenape Indian language, the land of the cranberries, which is very unusual, okay? So this is our banner, and in the back where the guys are sitting is the Schnitzelbank, the song that a lot of them sing. So we have a lot of other things. Does anybody, you have a question? You think it's a beaver?
It looks a little bit like a beaver. It's a beaver's
They're in
cousin.
the same family. Squirrels, groundhogs. Yeah, we have a lot of groundhogs around here.
Guess what?
And I want to tell you this. Now wait. When I was on the farm, we had horses. We didn't have a tractor right away. And my grandfather would always go in the fields where we had hay or wheat or grain, and he'd look for if there were any groundhog holes there. Because what happens if a horse in a groundhog hole, he will do what? What will happen? He will break his leg, and of course you have to get rid of the horse. Yeah. All right. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask me? Ich bin Deutsch, ich kann gut Deutsch schwätzen. I'm Pennsylvania Dutch, and I can speak German. Not the best, but you know. All right.
And Mr. Arner does a weekly column in the local newspaper, the Town and Country, and it's in Pennsylvania Dutch. So if you want to read some, there's some right there.
I brought the newspaper on in case you don't get the Town and Country. And there's an article in there that I wrote last week. Okay.
So is this pretty much right, Carl, what you guys do at your grown-up meetings?
Yeah, we do this. I don't know if you did that one. Oh, you didn't?
No, we didn't do that yet. We're about to. So we have player Kate Kent who's going to help us out on the piano. If you have a program, the words are there. If you need a second to go get a program, they're out there on the green table. Or even if you can't see this, it's kind of hard to see.
Somebody's better read through this.
Look there.
And Pastor Nick is going to just lead us in song because he's a good singer.
Yeah. So we're going to sing it through. We're going to sing it through twice. The first for the kids, and I do not speak Pennsylvania German. I'm from North Carolina, so I'm getting perfectly with an accent. So our first line is Offensive.
Let's say it. Let's say it.
Say it nice and loud. Okay, and now we're going to have some of these guys read through it just so you can hear it, and then we'll sing it through, okay? So everyone read it for us?
We need the Dutch pronunciation, so if you folks who know what you're doing, just give us the words and just speak it, then we'll try to pay attention and we'll try again with singing it. Clayton, you're pro.
You want to read it, ready? Come on,
Don't slip on the bird.
Don't fall.
Oh, now they're all just blowing us away. Secret conversation.
Okay, is somebody just going to read it for us first? Yeah, you want to do that?
Yeah, can you guys read it for us, and then we'll learn it, we'll listen carefully, and we'll try to hear the pronunciation, and then we'll give it a shot ourselves singing it, okay?
Can you read it? Who wants to read it?
Someone with a nice, strong voice, don't fuss it out.
All right, we'll read it the way it appears up on here, okay? Offensive mit du naus, auf diesen Regel spring ich naus. Do isn't luck, do gain ich nahe. When dieses soll mein Wohning sei, no kommt ein Hund und grabt mich raus, no bin ich im Tode Fenstermaus. No lege sie mich in die Ruhe und decke mich mit Shivering zu.
Oh, I apologize, my words are slightly different. Sorry,
Right.
then up
That's
there,
all
so
right.
we're gonna follow up there.
We'll go through it. And Kate will have a little intro, and then we'll sing it through twice, okay? You ready? Here we go. Oh, Fenster Mouse, oh, lift your mouse, what is the great old screaming house? Oh, is the mark, oh, any time, for this of it from holy time. Come on and hold,
bell, here is a hole, here I go in, and this shall be my home. Then comes a dog and digs me out. Then I'm a dead channel. They laid me to rest and covered me up with shavings, so it was kind of a silly song. So now, let's see if I did a terrible job with Shula Day. Shula Daya. Please say that for me. Shula Dog. Thank you. School Day. School Day. School Day. Nice job, everybody. Good job. Okay, now we're going to just say it in Dutch then on the left-hand side. And you kids, just so you know, I'm going to tell you what it says. I am a brother or sister groundhog, and I promise to, which is, how do we say groundhog? This is our first Dutch word we're all going to master. Grunzow. Can you all say that? Good. Okay, so Mr. Arner is going to say it in Dutch, and we're going to try to repeat it in Dutch, because this is how we learn. And even if we sound silly, we're going to do it anyway. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Arner.
All right, you guys ready?
You ready? You got to do the motions. I got to put my stuff down. Ready? Groundhog dance. Get ready.
Okay. Ik ben een broeder van een Schwester Grunzaal.
Ik ben een broeder.
Ik verspreid. Zu mijn oren poetsen.
Clean your ears, clean your ears.
Zu drek raas nemen.
Direct on the memo. Take out the trash, guys. Good.
Zu mijn brille wäsche.
Take your glasses off. Wash them off. Where am I going? Good, good.
Zu mijn haar strelen.
Pick up that you feel.
Wash your ear.
Und slecht is zu slot poetsen.
Dog, what's up?
Get down and clean out.
Hey, clean out that barrel, guys.
Then you can sit down, right?
You're a official member. Nice job, everybody. Okay, go ahead and sit down in your...
Yoder. I'm an art teacher, and I'm going to read my book today. It's called Penny Olive. It's very special to me. So, if you wouldn't mind being a little quiet for a couple minutes, and then you can ask me questions if you like, okay? So this is Penny Olive. Penny Olive. It's dedicated, this book is dedicated to my children, Maya, Henrietta, and Hunter, and to all Pennsylvania Dutch children so that they may connect to, share in, and help preserve our unique and beautiful culture. And this says, translated into Pennsylvania Dutch by Douglas Maidenford. He's a friend of mine because I don't really speak the language, but I'm learning and he's helping me learn. Goederdag, which means hello, good day. My name is Penny Olive.
Look, I want winter.
I am a Pennsylvania Dutch girl from Berks County, Pennsylvania. Right now we're in Montgomery County, but she's from Berks County. She's really close. I am named Penny Olive after my granny. She taught me how to sew. Granny says Pennsylvania Dutch people came here a long time ago. She says that we are a very special people and should be proud of our culture and heritage and preserve it.
I want a lollipop.
This is my family. Henrietta, Maya, Mom, Dad, Hunter, and me. Mom and Dad are folk artists. She paints cool mermaids called Wassernicks, and he paints hex signs. They are the circle paintings you see on barns. I am their assistant. Oh, 1 second. We go to lots of Pennsylvania Dutch festivals. My favorite part is getting to see all of the interesting crafts and art. Granny helps make food for the festivals. I love to eat her brat with sauerkraut. Brats are like hot dogs, but so much tastier, and sauerkraut is pickled cabbage. I can't forget red beet eggs. They are so yummy and the prettiest purple. But my favorite is her shoe fly pie.
Oh, I ate that before.
Is there? Oh,
They're still around.
Today we met Belschnickel. Belschnickel is kind of like Santa, but looks way cooler. He gave me an orange and pretzels for being so good this year. Anybody know Belschnickel? Has anybody met him? Oh yeah. Yeah, we met him at the Heritage Center at Kutztown. This is the best day ever. Mach's good, which means goodbye. Okay, and so what's really cool about this book and special is that once you read the English version, you can flip it around, and then you have it in Dutch, in Pennsylvania Dutch. And you can learn the words that way because you can match them up. Yes, dear?
He's a cousin, but he's still me.
Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Yes? So I can read a little of the Dutch if you'd like. What do you think? Clayton, you want to come up and help me? Yeah, awesome. I don't want to embarrass you, honey. Let's stay. Come read with me, okay? Der Tag, mein Name ist die Penny Olive. Go, and that's a neat way to learn the language because you can match up the pages, right? Ich
In Deutsche Mehl.
There we go. In Deutsche
Asparix
Mehl.
Kani.
Asparix Kani. Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. We're getting there, right? Good job, Clayton. My Name is die Penny Olive. Noch my grandmam. Detsuner. That's a toughie. What do you think? Have you seen that word yet? This is a real tough page. Die Grandma.
Grandma gesagt, dass
Als
Deutsche,
Deutsche.
das ist eine lange Zeit zurück, die gekommen sind. Die Grandma sagt, als wir heute abreckte Leute sind, und wir sollen heute Scholz und unser Bruder und herkommen. Sei und Sibir.
I gotta really practice. This one I can do pretty good. Cell East.
Cell ist mein
My
Familie.
Familia. Die Henrietta, die Maya, die Mom, der Daddy,
Und Dori,
der Hunter,
Dori.
Dottie, Onik, right? Eek,
Und ich, ja.
Eek, yeah. What do you think about all that?
Die Mama
Die Mom,
und Dori
und der Daddy
sind
sind
Folkkünstler.
Kunstler, right? Sie
Simon sind
Wassernicks. Und her
Und er Mol-
Shirestan. Good job, Clayton. Sie sind Grace der die Mer over Shirestanek. Ich bin
Ich bin ihre Helfer.
ihre Helfer. Mir Gift
Wir gehen auf die Kraftshow
Kraftshow
und
und
Deutsche
Deutsche
Fest.
Fest. Cell was
Das ist, was ich anerkenne gleich. Was ich alle in Dresden,
In
Crafts
Dresden.
und Kunst sehe.
Sarah. What do you think? You're doing a good job. See, I'm learning along. Very good. Should we go on? Die Grandma?
Die Grandma hilft es
Es-
Essen auf
Essen
die
auf
Fest
Feste
und zu richten.
Resta.
Ich liebe ihre Brotwurst und Sauerkraut zu essen. Ikondiro riva net vergessen.
Let's forget
Sie sind so gut und so in Schön.
Purple fox. Ah. Fire.
Aber
Here.
ihr
Velocious River Boy. Easter best. Yeah, good job. Great. Thank you, honey. Eat hammer.
Ein Hammer, der Bergstück getroffen.
Getroffen.
Hat mir ein
Hammer.
Äxt und ein Brezel gegeben.
Brezel.
Hat
Josh.
das, dass ich auch
Good. Salas Yar War. You guys are holding up so well. Okay.
Sally ist der beste Dog.
Max
gut. Sally ist was wir
Beweise.
Max gut.
Max good.
Baby. Max gut.
Max good.
Du auch.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sitting.
Rachel.
Thank you for sitting.
So if anybody wants to purchase one of Rachel's books, she'll sign them for you, but then she's going to do crafts with her kids, so you might have to catch her at some point if you decide later. And you won. Very
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We caught up with Rachel Yoder, the lady we saw reading to the children earlier. Rachel's from Boyertown, and she's going to tell us about the book she wrote.
Hi, nice to meet everyone. My name's Rachel Yoder, and this is Penny Olive. She was just released by Mastoff Press 2 weeks ago, so it's brand spanking new. It's a children's book about a little Pennsylvania Dutch girl named Penny Olive, and she goes on adventures. You get to meet her family in the book. There's a little bit of her. Nice, bright illustrations in Proctor style, but modernized. And we get to go around Berks County with Penny Olive, meet her family, get to know how she learned how to sew. Very interesting book. And then you flip it around and it's in Dutch. So it's to help children learn how to speak the language. It's a nice simple way to introduce them to the language and a little bit of Pennsylvania Dutch culture. Get the kids engaged. So she's sort of like a mascot, we like to look at her like. So she's going to be going on lots of adventures in the future. So grab a hold of your first copy of Penny Olive. It's available at Mastoff Press. Their website is mastoff.com or rachelyoderart.net.
Well, thank you very much, Rachel.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Mock's
you.
good.
Okay.
Well, we had a great day here at the Child's Grunensaal Lodge. I'd like to thank Maggie and Dave and all the folks at the Schwenkfelder Library for letting us come and film. I'd like to thank Mr. Honor and all the kids, all the parents who brought the kids out to come today. I'm Jason Ritter from CWTAP, wishing you a happy Groundhog's Day. Back to you, Uncle Jeffrey.